Hey everybody, Travis Clater back with another strategic thought. Now I know it's been a while since we've been here with a strategic thought video, but I saw this headline come across and I just had to address it. This entire year, 2020, has been insane for just about everybody, but for a lot of people, the last 2 weeks have pretty much been the longest year of our lives. For tens of millions of people, it's been a celebration of a presidential election, and for tens of millions of others, not so much. And in the middle of all of this, brands are left trying to engage in all of this craziness, which can be a complicated and dangerous thing to do. But it's something that all brands have to do because consumers are demanding that they do it. There are several studies out there that highlight the fact that consumers are demanding that brands step up and play a role in addressing societal issues. And the reality is that consumers no longer make purchasing decisions based on price. They want to know what brands stand for. Do they align with their personal beliefs, or do they stand for? Do they support the causes that you support, or that consumers support? And they're looking to see how brands engage in these issues and how they go about making a positive difference in these issues that impact consumers' lives. And for those brands who don't meet expectations, losing a customer is pretty much the best you can hope for. The worst is a backlash or having a crisis unfold, let's say on social media, that causes damage to your reputation or even to your business operations. So if brands want to succeed, they need that support, which means they need to play an active role in these types of conversations. Now, this leads me to today's point, and you may have seen this headline, but Gap pulled a tweet this past Wednesday afternoon that called for political unity. Great thought, right? But yes, it was Wednesday afternoon in the middle of a contentious presidential election that didn't have a clear winner yet, and they're stepping up and calling for unity. Again, the concept of unity is a great one to be sure, but the timing was lacking a little bit. But beyond that, the way they went about it had some real problems with it, and that's what I wanted to address today. If you haven't seen the tweet, definitely look it up. But here's a quick idea of what was on that tweet. It is a Gap zip up hoodie that's blue on one side and red on the other, and of course a giant Gap logo across the front. Now, the tweet that accompanied that, the language that accompanied that photo was, quote, "The one thing we know is that together we can move forward," end quote. Again, great concept and idea, but it drew quick backlash from a lot of celebrities and influencers. Celebrities like Chrissy Teigen quickly posted comments calling the brand out for being tone deaf. Teigen alone has 13.4 million followers on Twitter, and she was one of a bunch of celebrities and influencers that called the brand out. Again, to be clear, the idea of calling for unity is a great one. In fact, in my opinion, more brands should be engaging in these types of conversations during a time like this. But again, in my opinion, what Gap did wrong was they put their products front and center instead of the people that they represent. Now, Gap has since deleted the post, and they confirmed that the hoodie was in fact a product that isn't even for sale. So it's not even a product you can buy. But nevertheless, it looked like the perception was they were putting sales ahead of the cause that they were trying to support, in this case, calling for unity. And that makes the whole effort look inauthentic and insincere. And I mean, kudos to Gap for even attempting to engage in the conversation, because this is such a contentious time. But this was definitely a huge misstep. And look, even the biggest brands, the most sophisticated brands, they have missteps, especially in this environment. We're in an environment right now that most have never seen or experienced. There certainly isn't a playbook for anything like this. So we're finding ways to address it as we move forward. But there are some core principles that we can rely on to help guide us. And again, cause marketing is great if it's done the right way. And causes are all about people, internal or external, consumers or employees, stakeholders or volunteers. If brands want to support a cause or step up like this, like consumers are demanding they do, they need to put people first. There was a recent study that came out that said nearly half of U.S. consumers who are disappointed by a brand's words or actions on a social issue complain about it. That means if you have one of these missteps, it's going to be called out, just like happened with Gap. And again, that means we need to really rely on some of these core principles, like putting people first. Now, this is an opportunity for all brands, large or small, to learn from this brand's mistake or this brand's misstep. And really, again, the quick takeaway is that any brand that engages in these types of conversations, they need to understand that people, people need to be front and center for these efforts, not hoodies or whatever product or service it is that you're representing for your company. And there's your strategic thought for the day. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you check out tcstrategic.com for more strategic thoughts and blog posts. And we'll see you back soon. Thanks.